Amber.
Thanks for having me.
No, thanks for coming.
Thank
This
you.
is such a cool studio and like a really cool part of town. I'm like walking around. I got some coffee. I'm just like, hello. I feel like a little princess. It's so nice. Like birds chirping. It's so sweet. 'Cause I live in Hollywood where there's just people pissing in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
And it's just really like.
They like make eye contact with you while they shit in the middle of the street. And you're just all like, oh, is that 7 Years Bad Luck Hollywood edition?
Yeah.
You know, it really does feel like that. Yeah, it's cute here.
It is.
You're so positive. I love that.
I was negative for a long time, and I run a podcast on positivity that like changed my life.
Oh, plug it. Let's hear.
Thank you. It's called The Brighter Side. Ed Larson is my co-host, and it really like changes your brain to think of what the positive thing if something negative happens, and my life is better because of it.
That's that's great. Yeah, because you are what I know you from comedy. You're an incredible stand-up comedian.
Thank you.
Very funny. If you have a chance to see Amber live,
Thank
I
you.
highly recommend it. And also, you have a bunch of podcasts that are very popular too. So you're just like a lady about town.
I know life is really good.
We look like a couple of Easter eggs right now, by the way. We really do.
Yeah.
Oh
We're
man.
like the wives of like a senator, both of you. Like,
Oh my God, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, so it looks like we've been cheated on through
Yeah.
our whole life. It looks like we have cervical cancer because our husbands are fucking other women, and then that's what gives them they have like that HPV from like probably a sex worker
Yeah.
that we contract.
But we can have raw oysters for lunch. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're like
cares?
drunk during the day, and it's like
Yeah.
it's like classy,
And it's
you know?
fine. Yeah, it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
like you need help.
Yeah. We can like be on pills and be like, but then we get our revenge because we fuck a pool boy.
yeah. Or I was thinking you guys were having a bit of a lesbian renaissance when your husbands are going out, just having sex with young interns. You're like, you know what? I want to have sex with you.
Oh my God, it's the first time we come
Mm-hmm.
is because we like are finally like branching
with a
out.
woman.
Yeah.
My God, I've thought about being with a woman, but I get scared. I'm like really, I know this, like you talk about dating and relationships a lot on this show. I am terrified. And I've been kind of celibate for a long time. So I'm like, should I have sex with if a woman would want to have me? I feel like it's very ostentatious
Definitely.
of me to be like, I'll just be a lesbian. Like, what if the lesbian community is like, no, fuck off. You're ugly. We don't want to lick your pussy, stupid.
Stupid.
Moron, get out of here.
Out of here.
Wait, how long have you been celibate, if you don't mind me asking?
I lost count.
So a while.
A while, but I did have sex like once, maybe less than a year ago. But then before that, it was like a long time. I sort of decided that I like myself, and I only want to have sex with people who I like, and that like me, and that I like them. So it's been a while.
Really? So when did
Yeah.
you make this choice consciously?
I've always kind of done it off and on. Like even in college, I did it. I think it's a myth that college you're like a big whore, because I was just like, I don't want to like be around people. I'm very sensitive. I'm very emotional, and when a penis is inside of me, I get their vibes and their energy. And if it's a bad person, I don't want to like take that.
Yeah.
I feel like it ages me. It makes me unhappy.
Does it give you anxiety? It seems
me
like
anxiety.
yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like you have like some like Final Destination moments where you're like, don't get on that plane, but it's a cock inside of you. You're like, don't drink that.
Exactly. But yeah.
I mean, that's a great way to practice emotional responsibility, which I really advocate for, because I think a lot of people, they have ideas of the way they want to be, but they're not really listening to like the way that things make them feel live
Yeah.
in real time. They're like, I should be like this. And then, they have a insurmountable regret and anxiety due to that. Yeah.
I never listened to what like society tells you to do, because if you were supposed to do everything you're supposed to do, you'd be like broke, depressed, addicted to some bullshit, like in a loveless relationship. So, a lot of older people, they're always like, you should be dating around, like be with all these different guys. And I'm like, I don't want that. Like for me, that sounds like a total nightmare, especially having multiple men in my life where like you're supposed to like date around. I would rather sit on a gun.
Which way? I mean, so, okay, have you been in a good amount of like long-term relationships?
I was in an 8-year-long relationship.
Okay.
Whoa.
So that's probably it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I wish him the best, but it didn't work out. And I'm sort of like, I need to find out who I am.
Yeah. And you're like, and when did that stop?
Like 4 years ago.
Oh,
So like
okay,
I
that's-
should be fine, but like
It's so weird how you think you should sometimes. Like I'll get out of a relationship. It's been years, and I'm still
Yeah.
like, it's so fresh still.
Yeah.
And it makes you understand why. It sounds dark, but it's like, I watch a lot of forensic files. I watch a lot of true crime stuff, and it's always spouses killing each other. And it's like, I think that's a lot of times what drives people crazy. Like that level of intimacy can just like make you out of control.
oh yeah, especially during COVID, those numbers were like, because you're just around each other all the time. And when I left my relationship, it was like I was unhoused, but I like got out of it. I'm fine now. But I was like, so I had to like,
Because you guys live together.
we lived together.
Yeah.
And I left, so I had to like find a place to live, and then I did, and I got this good job, and I'm working, and then COVID hits, and then like I start doing all these like creative projects during COVID, so it was like a lot of backlog, so I couldn't really think about the relationship. I was just trying to survive.
Yeah.
And then once everything kind of mellowed out, I was like, oh shit, I was like homeless in LA. Like that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
Where was the craziest place you slept while being homeless?
I slept with I only slept with women, like, because other men would offer, like, you could sleep on my couch. And I was like, no, thank you. And I went on Facebook.
Yeah, there's a
and
hand job somewhere in
there's
that
a
transaction.
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
feel up, no
Yeah.
way. So I just go on Facebook, and I was like, I went on this women's group, and I said, hey, I just need a place to stay for the night. And this girl was like, sure, you can come stay with me. And I didn't know her. And then I remember I did a stand-up show that night. I put my bags in the corner, and then I was like, okay. And I got in an Uber to her place in Koreatown. And then she opened the door. I'd never seen her. It was dark. And I was like, hi, it's me, Amber. And she's like, yeah, the couch is over there. And I just like laid down, and I was like, I hope she doesn't molest me. And we're still friends to this day.
Oh, that's really sweet. And then so obviously you trust women, no lesbianness.
No,
You never hooked up with a woman in your life.
When I was like 10 to Alanis Morissette, does that count?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because everyone gets when you're a kid, you're always a little gay.
Always a
And
little
like
gay.
kids don't think they have like such a guilt complex because they like little boys do it, little girls do it, and I think that they're like, oh, I'm not supposed to do this. And it's like, well, when you're a kid, like the closest person to you is usually your friend who's like the
Yeah.
same gender as you. And so it makes sense why you would explore in that way. And then like the older you get, I remember being like just ridden with guilt and like just like, oh my God, I can't believe I kissed my friend. I'm like 8 years old, stressing.
Oh, God is watching you.
Stressing out, dude. And then I find out like years later, because we never talk about it, Years later, you find out in like maybe your 20s when like, a friend of yours like is like, oh yeah, when you're like a kid and you're like, you did that too? And then you realize everyone fucking does it and you're not weird.
No.
Oh man. I was stressed as a kid. I was like, I've talked about this on this podcast where like I was stressed out that I was gay as a child.
I'm a gay baby. Oh no, I'm a gay baby.
I was like stressed, not because my parents are like bigots in any way, shape, or form. I just had this like, life's gonna be tough for me, I mean, I look at the landscape now.
He's like smoking a cigarette outside of like Akbar, like
Yeah,
this gay
I'm
bar.
just like, you look at the political landscape, gay marriage wasn't legal until 2008, and I was just like, how am I gonna live in this world, this bigoted world?
You're like an old Stonewall gay.
It's like a brick in your little knapsack. My ham sandwich in my brick.
What's funny is I never had the, oh fuck, am I gay thing. And even as, I don't think I had any, like me and my friends would we would race when we peed. That was about as gay as it got. And then I remember in high school just hearing a story of some kid in my high school took mushrooms with all his friends and then like dropped to the ground and was screaming, I'm gay, I'm gay, I'm gay. And I was like, damn, I'd never tried mushrooms. I'm like, that'd be so brutal if I just took a bunch of mushrooms and started screaming, I'm gay.
my
That's how you
God.
find out you're gay. It's just on a horrible mushroom
Like a
trip.
demon inside of you is
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
cut me out, just possessing you.
Mhm. But
Holy
then I
shit.
took a bunch of mushrooms and I was like,
And you're not gay.
yeah. I was like, oh, cool, nice.
That's like such a shitty like PSA for like bigots for like, you know, anti-drug use, where they're like, you might take a lot of drugs and you scream you're gay in front of your friends and they can't unhear it. You can't unsay it. What are you gonna do? Your life's ruined.
Drugs make you gay.
Yeah.
Is that what the
Drugs make you a little gay.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little gay.
I should. It's the best part about it.
Yeah,
It's good.
freeing. You want to go run around barefoot. That's pretty gay.
Yeah, that's super gay.
But yeah, so I do have some questions, some prepared stuff.
Really? Oh wait, but I also wanted to talk about
Oh yes, the babies.
The
babies.
babies.
Babes.
Oh, how
All right.
babies.
Baby.
So I hung out with a baby last night. I love babies. And genuine question, how do you ask somebody if you could touch or hold their baby?
I usually just go, hi. And if the baby reaches out to me, I know that's some kind of consent. And I ask the parents, do you mind if I hold it? But if I'm just like, if I just grab the baby and the baby doesn't want me, it's like, they're like cats. You know what I mean? If they don't want you, they're going to slither out of your hands. And how embarrassing if a baby doesn't like you.
If you get rejected by a baby, that's bad.
I feel like
Yeah.
a Disney villain. I feel like Cruella DeVille or some shit when a baby like doesn't. It's just like the smell, the pheromones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess I didn't know how to like tactfully ask.
Here's how I do it. Wanna see?
I'm scared.
Can I hold that baby? Can I? I'm not gonna do anything.
Oh my god!
And that's it.
I promise I won't run away.
Someone did a bit about that where it's like you can't like run up and like when you see a baby like, oh my god, how old is it? But you can't be like, how old is that baby? 18 months? Wow. Shit, looks younger. Wow. Like, yeah. Horrible bit. Yeah. Anyway, so
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I guess I don't know. I have like a fear that someone's gonna think I am creepy for wanting to just be like, hey, but I think I have to. It's all about the cadence. It's all about, okay, let me rehearse it. Let me do
Yeah.
it. We'll do a soft pitch. Oh my god. Well, I had already been hanging out, so the oh my god is a little bizarre.
Okay,
okay.
Okay.
Hey, it's your scene.
Yeah.
It's your scene.
Okay. Oh, can I hold him?
Sure. His name's Connor.
That's my first boyfriend's name.
Kind of looks like
It was.
Yeah.
Connor. That is a cute name. Was he attractive?
He was really cute. Connor Childs. I'm going to plug him. I'll plug Connor Childs. My first boyfriend, 17, 18 years old.
Ooh.
Sweet guy. Still
Sweetie.
friends.
Still friends? That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, grew up around here
Where'd you go to high school? Around here?
in Orange County.
Oh, fun.
That's not, you know.
They were mean to her.
What?
They were mean to
They
her.
were mean to me. And Liam thinks it's hilarious.
I apologize.
Is it like is it like popular? Is it like a Clueless kind of school?
It was literally one of the most. It
You
felt.
hated it.
It just felt. I know my voice just shifts. Like no, it was so typical in this like prescriptive, like the way that Hollywood presents high school experiences, that it feels fake the way that it went down. But it was literally my high school. Like the cool kids were like the jocks and cheerleaders, and then a lot of people that I grew up like with or that are my age. I'm like, oh, who was the cool kids? They're like, oh, like you know, some like art kids, you know, it was like a mix of people. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, like if you were like a skater or like into art at all, like you were like gay in a bad way. Like they were like, you're awful, dude. Yeah.
Oh my god.
They were very like regiment. I don't know. It almost felt like you grew up in the South.
I did. I was pretty popular in high school. But I was also like in the marching band. I think it was just nice to people. And maybe it was in this like everybody was kind of poor, like because nobody was really wealthy. I think that's why.
I grew up with a very wealth was a big part of my high school. Like I'm not exaggerating when I say that my car like the parking lot at my school was filled with, I mean, brand new Mercedes, BMW, Audis, Hummers, like 16-year-olds driving I'm not even
crazy.
exaggerating at all. And I grew up like I was raised by a single mom, like middle class, like ish, and like lived in like a small home, not even a home, like a apartment, like a upscale, like a townhouse.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You know, shared walls, but like regardless, And I didn't have like a dad that was really around. So it's like, you know, I grew up with people that like, they're like, oh, why don't you have a photo of your family at the beach with all wearing the same outfit? Where's your golden retriever?
Yeah.
Oh, your mom works? Why?
That sounds
And like,
awful.
it was weird, dude. And I didn't have a car until I was like in like college. So like I rode a bicycle to school, which like that was no good. And like I got made fun of for that. And like all of this, it was like super classist. But I think, you know, you have to look at the parents of these people because they're the ones that are really inundating them with this sort of way of thinking.
Yeah.
It's not kids. Kids don't just think to themselves when they're, you know,
They don't know.
they don't know
any
shit about like
better.
the economy. They're not
No,
classist.
they're children.
Yeah, they don't know shit. So like I was, you know, it's just a red like dot in a blue state. So I think that also has it's yeah, it was weird. It was
Yeah,
weird,
yeah.
but whatever.
Getting your self-worth off of, I love hierarchies, and the people that make them, they're always at the top for some reason. That's so weird to me. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, we gotta have a hierarchy and I'm at the top. Oh, it's crazy how that worked out. It's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't make this up, but like I actually like am the boss of everything. So it's kind of weird, but like yeah, I mean I didn't choose it. I'm just here in this position. Like
Oh my God,
sorry.
I hate know-it-alls. There's like a few people, like souls in this world. I can't. And it's like the know-it-all. I'm like, no, I know, and I'm better. And like I'm at the top. And like snobs, like snobbery, I hate it.
But don't you
right?
think that's like a false flag for I think snobbery and
Insecurity?
elitism? Yeah, I think it's just it's like people that are over explain things is because like they fear that they're actually not good at explaining things, that you're gonna misunderstand them and they're bad at communicating. So they're like, well, let me tell you, but and I think there's like a like over explain like mansplaining is because
Yeah.
like you're actually trying to seek a connection. You know?
Yeah, I don't think they're just like, I hate women. I think they're just like, hey, I also know this other cool jazz artist, and let me tell you what I think.
But I think they're like also like not intimidated necessarily. It could be, but I think that they're like foreign to them. So they're like, oh, I have to like explain things because I don't know if you understand where I'm coming from. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
That's also just how like men talk to each other.
I think
they're
so,
it's just like
too.
constantly being in an argument, basically. Like if you're in a group of dudes, it's like just like who's got the information.
I
Who's-
never. That's such a good way to put it because I never thought that. Like I started dating somebody who's like a guy's guy and like went to an all boys school and like very like I don't know, like more masculine. And sometimes the way that he communicates to me appears as aggressive. And I'm like, well, and I look at the content of what he's saying. I'm like, it's not aggressive, but it's like the way that he's speaking can just be very like,
Pointed?
yes,
Yeah.
just really intense.
I
And I'm
get like, yeah,
yeah,
same.
it's spooky.
I'm
Yeah.
not a guy's girl at all. Sports, have fun, baby.
I have to change the way I communicate. Like with like the way I communicate with you is different than the way I communicate with like Angus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of
Whereas
course.
like I can just like scream at him, like get like I don't, but like I wouldn't be. I'm not worried about his feelings. You know what I mean?
But I think that you have the emotional intelligence and social intelligence rather to like code switch. Whereas like, I think some people, it's really hard for them to shift that to like that subtlety. And I think that probably has to do with also like that you're a performer, you're on stage. And I think being a comedian really gives you this acute awareness of reading everything and how to adjust your behavior. Because if you're on stage and let's say you're telling a joke and it doesn't go well, you kind of know how to like, you can pivot out of it.
Yeah.
You know, that requires you to change a little bit and shift. And some people like, it's not even a hard-headedness. It's just like, they're like, oh, I didn't realize, like, this is kind of how I come. I didn't know I had to like really adjust to
Yeah.
to communicate with somebody different. I kind of just thought people could understand me. I mean, I think women do it a lot. I mean, I've talked about like adjusting voice and everything in order to kind of get what you want. Sometimes it's conscious, a lot of times it's subconscious.
You have no idea. And all of a sudden you're talking to this guy like, hey, baby, can you pick that up for me?
Oh yeah, I mean, you want to get exactly what you want? Just like,
Yeah.
can you get me a glass of water?
Oh my God. That voice is so subtle.
You'll never not get me a glass of water.
I just visioned like 10 dudes standing up like, oh, I'll get you going.
If I'm in bed and I'm like, can you give me a glass of water? Oh my god.
Nina stays hydrated.
I'm fucking constantly
Manipulate.
hydrated. I got 18 waters in front of me
Yeah.
all
Oh
the
my
time.
God.
Manipulate, hydrate.
Manipulate and
That's it.
hydrate. I lived in New York for so long that I'm just now like sort of discovering my femininity. Because in New York City, you don't wear these colors. Like I'm wearing like a lavender color and like white shoes. You don't wear white shoes in New York. That's gonna get pigeon shit on them. You wear your leather jacket. You tell people, "Hey, I'm walking here." You eat your dollar slice of pizza, and like now I'm just like, oh, I can have sushi. I can like wear pastels and like speak in a nicer tone. This is crazy.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, because I think if you do that in New York, people are gonna be like, "What do you fucking know, you stupid?
Yeah.
What are you fucking stupid? Why are you talking like that, all flowery in your voice? It's listen, I can tell you just moved here. And I'm gonna give you a big favor, okay? Get the fuck out of here, okay? Just go back home. You gotta go, okay?
Get the fuck out. Absolutely.
Do you have to adjust the way you talk, like when you go see your mom or your family? Because I'm going home for Thanksgiving on Friday, and I know I have to literally like make a mental note of doing it, because every time I fly home for the first like day, I'm like talking to my family, they'll say something, I'm like, that's fucking this dumbest shit I've ever heard, and they're like, why are you talking? I'm like, I forgot you're like not my boys.
Yeah.
I'm like, sick idea, moron. Shut up, idiot. Like, I'm like, oh, it's my mother. Okay? I can't talk to her like that.
My family's very religious, very Southern Baptist. So it's a lot of like, speaking about God and like you cannot take the Lord's name in vain. It's very like kind of on guard the whole time.
Yeah, like you can't curse. I'm assuming at all.
No cursing. But that could be, brighter side. As I get older, I find that I can use other words instead of the curse words. I mean, unless you say the word frick, like just say the word fuck. Come on, what are you doing to me?
Oh, I hate when people like do that. So it feels like such a neutered way of communicating.
Yeah, we all know what you want to say.
My mom, when I was younger, which is so funny because she's like, she's a foreigner and has like an accent, but she'd be like, instead of cursing, she'd say Jiminy Cricket.
Wait, do it in her voice.
Jiminy Cricket. Oh, I thought that I could go, but the red light. Okay.
Where's your mom from?
Iran.
You're Iranian?
Yeah, dude.
Well, you got out?
Yeah,
Your family
bro.
out?
We're out of here, man. We out here, dude.
Is your father Iranian?
No, he's adopted. I don't know. He's like a white guy.
Oh, wow.
Just like blue eyes. Yeah.
What
Kind of
up?
like in and out of my life. Kind of like touch and go. A little bit. Like,
Classic white guys.
classic white guy,
Whoa.
dude.
Doing what we want when we want.
Elusive as fuck, dude. I'm like, who are you? Literally, who are you?
Yeah.
Did you grew up religious, and I knew that just from your stand up, but was there a time in your life that you really like you were into it? You were lost in the sauce?
Oh my gosh. In high school, I walked out of a movie because they had an upside down cross on the wall. And I was just like, they can't take the Lord's name in vain like this. And I was like in New Orleans, and I was walking through this parade. I saw somebody dressed up like the devil. And I was like, I can't look. I can't. He's representing the devil. And it's true evil. It's evil. And like my girlfriend was like, look over here. Like she's very nice and like just kind of spoke to me over in the corner until the devil walked by. Like, I would, just too much. But, when you're indoctrinated in it, you think like, this is the world. This is how it is. And like, you would go to these Christian camps where we would like cry together and hold each other, like a trauma bonding experience, like a
cult.
Midsommar situation.
Yeah, I've been at one of those.
Yeah.
It was like I was in 5th grade. It was the most eye-opening experience of my life. I was like, oh, they were crying in front of the altar because they took out like the tabernacle or whatever the fuck it's called with the smoke, and they really believed that. Hey, maybe they're right. I don't fucking know, but they were like, Jesus Christ is here, and I was like in 5th grade being like, there's no one on that altar, and then adults. My adult teachers were dropping to their knees and sobbing.
Yeah.
And we were just like looking at my boy Tommy being like, hey man, this is pretty fucking weird. I'm really scared. This is really scary.
Yeah, adults crying to children is like something's gone horribly wrong.
Yeah, like scream crying.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And they're like, I feel Jesus in my soul and I'm being moved. And I'm like, I think that's just like your, emotional right now. Or like also music is a big part of church because you kind of bond with like tones, I think.
Yeah.
And people just would start crying and screaming and singing and like.
Well, I think that's a catharsis for them. That's representing other things in their life, and I think that they're using this like the mechanism of the Lord and like channeling it through like I'm having a religious experience. I'm like, I think that you're actually like maybe feeling a little imprisoned or like about something else, and like you're kind of
Yeah.
circumnavigating that into this scenario, which is great. I'm glad you're, exercising it out. It's funny that you say you were afraid of the devil, because like
You love the devil.
I remember I told you the story about how I fucked the devil.
What?
Yep.
It was Halloween. It was a guy dressed like the devil.
Oh. Oh, fun.
Yeah, it was years ago. I'll tell the story. It's pretty funny. I was in Montreal, and there was a guy painted head to toe red, like sunglasses, tall guy. I was on tour, and it was an after party of this like show that I was performing on, and I started talking to this guy. He's very like intelligent and kind, and he's like buying me drinks, and we're chatting. I was like, this guy's cool, this is fun. And he kisses me, and we're like, oh, this is great. And so then I'm like, he's like, do you want to come over to my place? I live really close. I'm like, sure. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna bang the devil, this is
Oh my God.
sick.
He opens up a sewer and he's like, crawl down.
So I go back. It was funny because I'm leaving the bar, and I'm like telling my friend, I'm like, hey guys, I'm gonna go. I'll see you on the tour bus later. And my friend's like, are you going home with the devil? And I was like, no, dude. Why would you even say that? Like, no, dude. I'll see you in a few hours. And I get in the Uber, and I look in the mirror, and I have like red paint all over my mouth. I was like, oh, no wonder he was like, you clearly have been making out with that guy.
That's so funny.
So this guy's covered in red paint. So like, I don't even really know how he looks like. You know what I mean? He's got like prosthetic like horns and everything. So I'm like, well, this is a moment of truth. He's like, I'm gonna shower off. So he showers off, and I'm like, I hope he's attractive. And he comes out, and he's so handsome. And I was
course.
like, fuck yeah, this is great. And we go at it. We have sex. It's great. And he even like, I mean, there was like a belt hanging on his wall, and he was like, can I use this on you? Can I spank you? And I was like, yeah. And he like spanked me, like domed me, and it was so hot. And I was like, wow, this is great. And he like fucked good, and it was awesome. And then we were
We get
done.
it.
And I'm like, all right, I gotta take off. He's like, I'll get you an Uber back to the tour bus, blah, blah. Gentleman, nice guy. And he's like, oh, let me get your info. We exchange Instagrams. This was a long time ago. So Facebook was like still a relevant source of communication.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, what's your Facebook? He's like, oh, don't add me on that. There's like photos of me when I was like a kid. And I was like, why are there photos of you on Facebook when you were a kid? And he's like, well, I've had it for like a long time. And I was like, how old are you?
Oh no.
And then he's like, oh, I'm 19.
Rocking the cradle, Nina.
And I, like, my jaw dropped. I was like, what? Because I forget it's Canada, so they could drink when they're 18. Way better school system. So he's like smart as fuck. And I'm stupid because he was like very tall. He's like 6'4". So I was like, I was like, oh, that means he's old.
You grow up when you get
Yeah.
older.
Yeah. So I got dominated by a child.
Oh my God.
How old were you again?
I was like 27.
Holy shit! Yeah, that's crazy.
I was 27. He was 19.
That's wild.
Wow. Well, he's legal.
I was shocked.
That's crazy.
He was so smart and like interested. Like I was very shocked about his age.
I bet.
I got a good little transition for that.
What?
All right. So I read this. I was getting really into teacher sex scandals. I was just doing a little bit of my own research on the topic.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I want to find one where they admit that like the kid wheeled the teacher, you know what I mean? Like that he went out and like he was the initiator of it.
I think with women, with the Mary Kay Letourneau, I'm sure they were like vibing, and they also like got married afterward, and they were together until she died.
Really?
Yeah, she died recently. She died a few years ago, unfortunately.
Oh, that's
but yeah, but they were like very in love. Like they were together for
Who is this?
Mary Kay Letourneau, who's like the most like salacious, like scandaled. She was like the first one in like the late 90s, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she started dating. She was cheated on her husband and started seeing this. He was like 12.
No, that's assault. That's rape.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But
Did
it
she
was
go to prison?
Yes.
Okay, good.
And then she got out, and then they continued a relationship, and then they stayed together until like they had kids together. I mean, they were
What?
together until she died a few years ago. I think she died in her like early 60s.
Good riddance.
Yeah, but he was like 12 or 13, and she was like maybe in her late 20s.
Fucking Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Mary Kay
Whoa.
Latourneau. Yeah.
There's something
She's
so
a
much
pedophile.
weirder about
Oh, absolutely, a pedophile.
like a woman pedophile. It's like you like a guy pedophile. Your brain's like, yeah, that makes sense. Men are fucked up. Like, you know what I mean though? Like,
Yeah, and
Every time I hear a woman and then she's attractive, I'm like, why do you want to fuck kids? What's going on?
There's something really, really weird about that. And I do think it's a power play thing because I think that's what, like, if you sexualize a young person, like, you clearly want to be dominant in some way. But I think I understand what you're saying. It's like, it's almost like, yeah, men are already like kind of inherently evil, but I think also there's this like, you know, young women, you know, are like always sought after, that even if they're like teens, you're like, okay, like I can understand you fetishizing it to a point of it being really disgusting, you know? But like, I don't know. I think these people are like, they're sick in the head. Like there's something wrong in their brain that's happening. There's a mechanism that's like not working. That's what I think. They're like, a screw is loose.
Yeah, I think it's like a mental illness. And I wish that we would like, you know, if you start displaying pedophilia early on, because I have known some pedophiles when they are teenagers and they wanted to be with like 7-year-olds, you know?
Dude.
And I would tell adults because I thought it was like, oh, something's like a mental issue, let's fix it. But a lot of the adults were like, no, it'll work itself out. And it didn't. And then this person was in their 20s and still liked 8-year-olds.
Is this somebody you grew up with?
Yeah, I don't want to mention
Yeah,
exactly
I understand.
who, but yeah.
That's terrifying.
But you know, it's like starts early on. So I wish there would be like more medical intervention that would say, "Hey, I see that you're like 13 and you are liking 8-year-old boys. Let's get you some help."
Yeah, because there's something horribly wrong. Like I just can't even identify with. It's like there's certain things I'm like, I can't even, like, I would never ever want to, like, a teenage boy.
That's disgusting.
It's so like, I never even, when I was younger, I was like into older guys. And so I was like, I've never taken anybody's virginity. I never want to take anyone's, it's too late now too, but I'm just like, that's like so unappealing to me. Like, I like the idea of like, if there's any sort of power dynamic, I want the guy to be more powerful than
you got dominated by the devil.
Yes, dude.
You know.
At least he was legal. Jesus.
Yeah, I just realized my argument sounded like, yeah, I get fucking young women, but young boys, what's going on with them? Like, that's not what I was driving at.
Wait. So what is the news article?
So this was fascinating. In 2016, Elena Ferguson, 23 years old, was charged with sexual assault of a 16-year-old boy. He allegedly told police that the relationship was sparked by a note he left on an algebra test in which he wrote his Snapchat username. Wow. What game on this kid? Just taking a test and being like, here's my username, hit me up. Why don't you slide in?
Wow.
That's so creepy that she was like, ooh, a Snapchat from a 16-year-old. Like,
Yeah, she's a pedophile for sure.
That's
I'm
disgusting.
I'm more complimenting the chutzpah of that young boy.
you know
kid.
what, though? This is so fucked up. The fact that he probably was picking up on her signals, because the fact that she even went for it, he was like, oh, this is like would happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there is no, I feel like his chutzpah is stemmed from the fact that he was probably like reading signals that she probably was like leading him to that conclusion.
Just
that like,
the vibe.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's so yuck.
I was walking down the street of Hollywood a few weeks ago, and no big deal, but this 18-year-old boy was like, hey, miss, I just turned 18. I'm looking to smash. And I was like, I just kind of laughed. And he was just like, what? And I was just like, not me, but good luck, sir. Like, and then I went about my day. But I wonder if there was a single woman, like if he did that all day, is there another woman that'd be like, okay, I'll fuck this 18-year-old boy?
Numbers, dude. It's all about the numbers game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They're out there, especially.
You got to check
Hollywood
ID
Boulevard, yeah.
on that kid, though. You got to make sure. If he's like, I'm 18, I'm like, is this a Chris Hansen thing?
Yeah, let me look at this ID, buddy.
Yeah, I get a black light. I'm like, I'm like a bouncer. I'm like,
You start bending it. You're like,
yeah, this is a pretty
not
good
real.
fake though. But
Yeah.
Not real.
no, dude, you gotta.
But I do. That's like that level of confidence as a 16-year-old. I bet he did it, being like, haha, this is funny, and then.
I mean,
started
it
working
actually
out.
happened. So, like, I don't know. I mean, I think, but okay, I think 16-year-olds, like, we are speaking from our 16-year-old brain where we're like, oh, okay, oh, sorry, no, I can't look you in the eyes,
It's
I'm
like
scared.
weird and horny at the same time.
Yeah, but like do you remember kids in high school that were like, you know, teenagers that would just have like swinging dick confidence, and you're like, how, you know, they didn't have zits.
Yeah,
and,
they're in
like,
jail now.
They all have DUIs. Yeah, they all.
Yep.
Yeah, but a 16-year-old banging a 23-year-old teacher, like that story doesn't make me sad because I know that kid's living the dream. Like that's.
Oh my
And I know
god.
it's like a hack premise at this point, but seriously, like that kid is walking through the hallways just fucking high five, like when no one's looking, like high fiving his English teacher. It's like, yes, dude, good shit.
Well, here's the thing. It's like shows like Euphoria act like those people are in fucking high school, and I'm like, no, bro. Like, yeah, if they like looked like that, I could understand like being like, yeah, they're hot, but like
Yeah.
no kids look like that. Just no, like 16-year-olds look like I see people in their early 20s. I'm like, they look like children to me. Do you know what I mean? Like a 21-year-old looks like a kid to me.
Yeah.
But I'm like, a 16-year-old is like a fucking guppy, you know? Like,
So
come on.
tiny and angelic and little bitty.
Yeah, I can't.
And they think like 22 is ancient. They're like, wow, you're 22. It's like, okay, all right, great.
Yeah, they're like, so like, when are you gonna get married? Did you buy your like cemetery plot yet? You should buy it now, you know?
That's crazy. Does anybody have a cemetery plot? I don't.
No. What do you think we do? We're not like, we don't have some like disease we're gonna drop dead from or anything like that.
You
Not
don't
like
have your
that.
cemetery plots yet?
I might. I don't know. I haven't been to the doctor in a long time. I could walk in there and be like, dude.
Your doctor's like, hey, on your behalf, we scrounged some money together, got you a cemetery plot, 'cause it's gonna happen soon, brother. Sorry. Should we snap into these questions?
Yes. All right. I'll
Let's-
pose this question. What's the greatest sex scandal of all time?
Sex scandal?
I think I have a few that I think the best one.
Your favorite?
I mean, I don't know if my favorite necessarily personally my favorite, but I think the one that rocked the world was Monica Lewinsky and Bill Clinton, of course.
Oh, right.
That changed everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was huge.
And at the time, like people were blaming her, and they were like, "She's a whore," but like she's the intern. Obviously, the power dynamic as the president of the United States.
It's
here.
so fucked up how she was 23 years old and she was a page at the White House, which means that she probably was the top of her class in like high school and college and really wanted to have a long seasoned career in politics.
Yeah.
It's probably a very, very bright young girl with like a bright future. And then the leader of the free world was like, what's up? And he was, look, I remember at the time, like he was considered like a hot president.
saxophone guy.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, I like boxers. I don't wear briefs. He was like fuckboy president. He had like JFK vibes. And then, you know, he's in his, I think he was in his 50s at the time. He hits on a 23-year-old. I mean, of course, like she's going to like go for it.
Yeah.
You know, but it was so mean because like she got dragged more than I think anyone's ever gotten dragged ever. Because you're like, there was jokes that were on like late night that were like, you could fuck any woman in the world, you choose her, she's fat, blah, blah, blah. They were like saying she's fat, she's ugly, all this shit. It's like, it was so fucked up. And it's like, she's a young girl, dude. Like,
Was that like early 2000s, right?
no, it happened in 1990. It was at the end of his second term. And he was actually, what is it called? Impeached. But because it was like already pretty much at the end of his term, it didn't even really seem like that occurred.
Yeah.
But I think it happened in 96.
Man, that time was like really bad for women and like gay people. My brother's gay, and he remembers having to like sneak off to these bars that, you know, weren't really open to the public, and women were just openly ridiculed about their weight, you know, and even the music and everything was like, I don't know. A lot of younger people, like, they reminisce with the fashion of like, come get dressed with me, like it's 1995, and I'm like, I don't think you want to go back then.
Yeah, they're like, hey, it's Woodstock 99. Anyway, what's the best dress to wear if you're getting sexually assaulted while you've been roofied?
Yeah.
Check out the next slide to find out.
And then get blamed for it, you know. What were you doing there?
Yeah, like Woodstock 99 shit is so crazy. But okay, I think another sex scandal.
Wait, I have one question about
Yeah.
that. Because obviously I wasn't alive for the Clinton thing, so I was like, I missed it. which I'm pissed about. It seems like it would have been a fun thing to experience in the news. So she was blowing him in the Oval Office. Is that real?
Yes.
And he put a cigar in her vagina.
Yeah, he put a cigar
What?
in her pussy, which is such a crazy thing. And then he smoked it afterward.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, you could look at the transcripts and it's crazy.
Pretty cool.
Well, he got found out because there was cum on her dress.
Yeah.
Because he also didn't fuck her, which was like, he was like, oh, I'm going to outsmart the system. Because if I fuck her, that's scary. If you fuck her, what if she gets pregnant? That's a huge scandal. But if he just blows her, can't get a mouth pregnant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So there was cum on her dress? How did people find cum?
Then
on
the
her dress?
DNA test, because then they were like, we're going to subpoena your dress and we're going to take a sample from it.
It was the blue dress, right?
Yes. And she wore, I mean, there's videos of her wearing it. Like, and didn't she wear it to his like inauguration or something?
Imagine the post-nut clarity of that blowjob in the Oval Office, just being like, oh, fuck, I shouldn't be doing this. I should not be. This is horrible. I'm going to get in a lot of trouble for this.
But he's definitely not the first person to get blown in the
Yeah.
fucking Oval Office.
And at least it was somebody that was of age. Like 23 is very young, but at least they weren't like some weird pedophile president that I don't know whatever QAnon says. I don't know whatever the fuck they're talking about. But at least she was of age, I guess.
How did people like sniff this out? They were just vibing too hard?
Linda Tripp, who was the friend of Monica Lewinsky, who also worked at the White House, who is considered a villain pretty much because, this young girl's confiding in her. Linda Tripp was, I think, in her 40s at the time. And this is just like a coworker friend who is like 20 years her junior and is like, yeah, I'm dating this guy. Oh my God, well, it's actually him, blah, blah, blah. Like young girls are.
Yeah.
And Linda Tripp finds out and then she starts having a bad time at work, basically. People don't like her. And then she's kind of like, I'm going to show them. And then uses Monica Lewinsky's story. She fucking wears a wire to then implicate her good friend into, like, literally wears a wire and has lunch with her and then gets Monica Lewinsky to say, like, yeah, like, I'm with the, like, what,
That does not pass.
like
the
Monica
Bechdel
Lewinsky
test.
did not want this to be public. It ruined her life. It ruined. No, did she make money really?
She sold a book, right? Eventually.
sure
Not,
afterward.
it ruined her life for probably like 10 years.
Yeah.
And then she got paid.
I think her life is still kind of ruined. I mean, I don't know. I get sad when people are mean to me on the internet.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine. And that's like me being like a comedian on like whatever. And people being like, oh, you're ugly or dumb or whatever. I can't imagine the world. Like, I mean, we're talking millions of people being like, he fucking whore, like screaming and freaking out at you.
You ruined
She
a
probably-
marriage.
Yeah.
She definitely had some fans though, right? Like people were probably like,
I don't think so. in the
Dude,
beginning.
it does not seem like she
It was
did.
very
Really?
anti-woman at that time, and like women were against each other, which is weird. Like Pink's "Most Girls," remember that song? It was like later than that, but it was like it was like a pick-me song.
Ew.
It's disgusting. Go listen to that song or don't. But
if it happened today, I guess I'm thinking about it like that. People would have been like, what a rock star.
No, they'd
Blew
be
the
like,
president.
they would be like, he's the one that's bad. But it's
Yeah,
like at the
yeah.
time they'd be like, this heathen woman,
yeah,
this harpy seduced the president. What he was supposed to do, he was signing documents and she comes in all hubba baba baba with her titties all pressed together. What is he supposed to do? He's got to release his cum.
yeah, he's got to release his cum.
He can't have cum in his brain. He's making executive choices, decisions.
important.
Maybe that's why, like, my mom doesn't like women, and I think it's because she had to fight just to survive.
Wait, I want to hear about this.
She just doesn't like women at all.
What's her? Does she openly say that?
Openly. She's
She-
like, women
what's
are
her-
crazy. All women are crazy. They're all liars.
Smart woman.
She seems like she's a crazy liar.
Yeah.
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 If you're like, oh, women are crazy and they're liars, I'm like, you're definitely crazy and you're a fucking pathological
Yeah,
liar.
yeah. I don't want her to like see that. She did her best, but like she definitely grew up in a time where it was like in the 60s in the South was like really hard on women, and like she, had to like fight off other women just to get a guy in town because you can't get a job,
Wow. Wait, so how is it like to have a mother
Who doesn't like women?
who doesn't like women when you're a woman?
When I'm a woman.
Yeah, she's raising a woman. That must be.
It's, like when I go home, she'll definitely say things like, I left at 17, by the way, but she'll definitely say things like, I don't think a woman can be president. too emotional. No, you can't do that. Too emotional, too much. Women can't do that. But it was also like I was told I could do anything, but then I couldn't. Like I was just very confused. And I didn't know what I could wear or like how to talk or be. And I just left. I just left.
Yeah, that seems really confusing because I feel like either way she could be like, you're dressed like a whore, or why are you dressed like a boy?
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like, what do you
It's
want?
like, just give me a uniform. Like, I'll wear a zip-up leotard. I don't care. But, like, am I a whore or a boy? Let me know.
Put me in Squid Game. I'm down to wear that fit, like genderless little fit. It's fine.
But I think that's also a big part of the Southern Baptist community. Like, they want you to be confused because you're never supposed to have an internal happiness. That's why it takes so long with, like, no sex, no alcohol, because I have to, like, heal and find myself again. I need to find my own internal happiness. I don't want that coming from a man, you know, but they want it for you to find it with a man.
Or they want it from God, right? That's
Yeah.
the whole idea, is that Jesus is the way, Jesus is Valhalla.
Yeah.
So internal happiness means like you are worshiping the supremacy of within, which is
The
very
devil.
dangerous. That's the devil. It's considered the devil.
You can't be doing that.
Yeah.
But me, I love it.
And I love the devil.
You fuck the devil. I can't believe that. I bet he was sexy.
Oh my God. I'll show you a photo.
He is. He's a strong jawline. Devil's doing fucking some neck workouts. That dude looks good.
Wait, what do you think is the biggest sex scandal, Liam?
I guess I'll go. Let me think. I probably should have thought about this.
Yeah, you're the one who asked the question.
Yeah. I guess it has to be the Clinton one, obviously, because he's the president of the United States. But a fun one that, like I love just thinking about Brad Pitt cheating on Jennifer Aniston, because that's pretty fun.
Oh, with who?
Angelina Jolie, correct?
Right.
She literally, Angelina Jolie, is to me just the woman that your like significant other cheats on with. Like just the hottest. Like I can understand if your mom was like, I don't like her, I don't trust her. I'm like, dude, me neither. Like I'm like, I don't trust her. She's too sexy.
Yeah.
She has satanic sexy looks. Like she looks like she drinks blood.
Yeah.
She looks like she can make a guy come in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like
She goes like this, and she just can get a guy to come.
yeah, he just wets his pants with cum. You're like, fuck. Yeah, that's like scary, dude.
You know
she
who-
is come steal your man, girl.
Oh, you know who has that vibe too? Who I had a huge crush on as my time as a youth, as a boy. Waterboy, the chick in the Waterboy, the girl that like falls in love with Adam Sandler's character.
Sorry, I'm not that well versed on the
Sorry, yeah.
Sandler sphere. Yeah, we're
Sorry.
like, okay, like Billy Madison, I can do.
But
Happy
yeah,
Gilmore.
that girl has the same like
Jumpy
I drink blood vibe.
Yeah, that's
As
like
Angelina
the scary, sexy women. I'm afraid of, because they look like they have like something that I'm like, oh, you just definitely like.
Yeah. Or
You
like
have
Megan
the
Fox.
tightest pussy. Yeah, you just like are so, you're like built to fuck.
I love Megan Fox. I wish
She's
I
so
could
hot.
meet her in real life. I bet she's gorgeous.
She's so hot. She's like, she has that like scary sexual thing. Where
Yeah.
you're like,
She
Jesus.
does drink blood. She said she was drinking blood with fucking Machine Gun Kelly.
And that's what Jolie did with fucking Billy Bob Thornton. They're blood drinkers, dude.
Oh, did you ever see that video of them? Oh,
I kind of get it weirdly. I know that sounds fucked up, but Billy Bob Thornton, do you think he's hot?
He's hot in like a
kinda hot.
yeah. I bet he's got a big old swanging dick with gray pubic hair.
Yeah, he's got that swinging old fucking southern dick. He's got that like ranch dick and like he's got rancher cock.
Yeah.
And
He'll take you to Outback Steakhouse.
but he looks like he's fun. Like he would like would fuck good.
Yeah.
He would fuck good. I could tell.
I'm not saying that. Don't get me wrong. I agree with everything you just said. But that video of them at some red carpet event where they're getting interviewed, and then they just start kissing and talking about how they fucked in the car
Yes.
on the way here, and I'm like, hey, how about you both kill yourself? Like, I stop subjecting me to this fucking disgusting video.
Okay, first of all, what about when Angelina Jolie kissed her brother on the red carpet like many
I
times?
didn't see that.
right. Blonde haired guy, right?
Yeah, bleached blonde hair. Her and her brother would just like not like a,
Like a kiss.
which I also think families that kiss, that's gross. But like
Don't even hug.
an open mouth kiss, like a kiss.
That's
like a
weird.
kiss.
That is weird. Have you seen the pictures of like, oh, we're recreating this photo from years ago, and it was like 2 kids taking a bath with their father, and then now it's like 2 men taking a bath with, and the internet was just like, get this off.
Yeah.
Twitter, please.
Stop ruining this trend. You just ruined this trend. This was like heartfelt and cool. Like it was like kids at a beach like doing like this with their dads, and I'm like, if it's pick a different bathtub picture, not that.
Oh
one.
my God.
Fuck.
I mean, I really am like into the sex scandal thing just because I'm like, to me, what is the worst or most salacious sex scandal is something that like rocked the world.
I like Marilyn Monroe with JFK because I think she was killed by them.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
I
just
think
knew
so
too
too.
much, and like you can't break up this family.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, is that a conspiracy theory? I haven't heard this.
Yeah,
That,
that she was killed by the CIA. And it's the same time that like they were doing very nefarious shit with like MK Ultra and everything that I'm like, yeah, that makes sense to me. Like that really does make sense to me. I think that, I don't know, I wouldn't put a fucking past them. They're trying to hide aliens from us and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Of course they killed America's sweetheart.
Yeah.
Remember when Trump got elected and they were like the same day, they're like, oh, by the way, there's aliens. And like no one gave a shit because they were so upset about Trump getting elected.
Oh yeah.
So there's like footage of UFOs flying and like people in, the aerospace, corporation just being like, what is this? We don't know what this is. So their aliens are here. The government put it out when like something salacious was.
They're like, can you help us with this? Just kidding. Don't even look there anymore. We're not sure. We have another question?
Yeah, kind of a segue off the Angelina Jolie and Billy Bob thing. What's the most annoying shit that couples do? For me, it's got to be PDA.
Just kissy kiss time.
Yeah, like it's cool. There's a level because I'm not like don't show affection. Be happy, enjoy your life.
Yeah.
But there's a fucking thin line, and once it's crossed, it's like, dude, I can't be around you.
What's the line like for you? Like, is there something you're pointing to from your own experience in the past that you're like, I cannot stand this shit?
Like when you're at a small get together with friends and the couple is sitting like wrapped like a pretzel around each other, and you're like, how about you just relax for 20 minutes? Like, you're about to start fucking. Like, I'm like, you guys
I think
been dating
this camera's gonna go out.
Oh,
Shit.
it's blinking. Brandon, is this going out? Sorry, I thought you were about to walk.
It's blinking. Also, is this recording?
Yeah, that one's on.
That one's fine. Okay. No, it's okay. You're doing great. I know you're covering, so I
No,
appreciate
it's
it.
just blinking a lot. I don't know what that means.
It's freaking out. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh man. Wait, so you're coming to the line. Do you want to come early at all if you want?
Yeah,
I have
sure.
like a room there where it's just like chilling.
Oh,
There's this
yeah.
little pool. I don't know if you like.
Oh.
I'm not gonna take my shirt off in public, but I'll come drink early.
Man, I'm never gonna see your nipples, huh?
Never, dude.
Come on.
Uh,
My next birthday's in July. I think that PDA, there is a line. I totally understand what you're saying when people are just like, yeah, like, no, baby, actually, hon, can you get me a beer? And it's just like that. You're like, oh, were you fingers inside? Like it's too much.
Yeah.
People that like open mouth kiss, like I shouldn't see your tongues outside of your mouth. I don't think I should see your tongues outside of your mouth while you're kissing.
I agree.
I just don't. Like, love is beautiful. It's all good, but I don't know. You know what pisses me off more than PDA couples? Like, annoying. If they, like, bicker in front of you. Like, fight in front of you. Because then you're really making everyone uncomfortable. Like, at least if they're like, I'd rather have a couple like being all over each other because I'm like, all right, you guys are having a good time. Like that's positive energy.
Mm-hmm.
If you're like, well, can you get off your phone? No, it's just like we're having dinner with everyone. So if you get off your phone, and I'm like, God, let Mark be on his phone because like we don't really give a shit if he's on his phone. You clearly care, but now like we kind of have to be like, oh, so Mark, what's up? Like, how's the new job? And then like, but like couples that like fight in front of you, I think that's really fucked up because then you feel like implicated in their drama, and it's like
Just hit each other at that point.
Just
dude.
hit each other. And if they're fighting in public, what goes on when the doors are locked? When it's in
They
private,
hit each other.
They hit each other.
Yeah, some good old fashioned hate fucking goes on behind those doors.
Ooh, yeah, so uncomfortable. Like, just put the mask on. Let's just like have fun. Let's pretend everything's fine.
I just can't. I mean, we've all been upset or annoyed with our significant other, while you have to be in public or whatever at like some gathering. And, you just kind of, you got to have some restraint and hold it in and just be like, okay, like, whatever. It's like, it's just messy to me. It's like, why do you want people to like,
Yeah.
you're making other people deal with your shit. I think it's so uncouth. Like, you can't do that. And also, like, do you really want people to see you fighting with your significant other? Like, don't you know what I mean? Like, don't you, like, I would say if I see people like bickering, I'm kind of like, well, like, Margaret and Chad are kind of like, they should break up. And then it's like, we're talking about how you guys should break up.
Oh God, I was in Sedona, Arizona, and it's like a place where couples go to like rejuvenate their marriage, and there's like spas, and
It's
really
also
beautiful.
a place, it's like Sedona, Arizona is like a weird place because it's also where people are like, yeah, like, I'm wearing turquoise jewelry and also I love Trump. You're like, what?
It's a weird mix of like hippie conservatives. I don't get it.
I'm a wizard that's anti-abortion.
Yeah, it's so
Exactly.
bizarre.
Yeah. But every single couple I saw was bickering. Like some sort of like, you said I couldn't get the silver jewelry, but I want the silver jewelry. I can't. And it's like, and I was like, do people like each other?
Do you know why they're bickering or why they're there?
Why?
Because they're kind of like, listen, our relationships is on the rocks.
Yeah.
We got to go somewhere to fix it. Why don't we go to like the most spiritually enlightened place? And then really, like, they think that's going to solve it,
Yeah.
That's like the worst one. Like, there's like a very beautiful spa that's like in Joshua Tree called Two Bunch Palms. And it's for couples. It's like very much just for like couples and everything. And they have like a natural hot spring and waterfalls and shit. And it's the same vibe where it's like all these couples that are like, you're not allowed to like talk really loud because it's a spa, but then you'll just hear them like quietly fighting next to a waterfall to like drown out their argument. I'm just like, you're underneath the waterfall too long. yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's
I
really
love doing
funny.
stuff alone. Like that's my jam. I hiked the Grand Canyon alone. Like I never have these little mouse moments where I'm just like, I'm so scared.
How are you the host of a true crime podcast and you're doing shit alone that's like you literally you just started like every beginning episode of Forensic Files where it's like Amber Nelson, I'm trying to do Peter Thomas. Amber Nelson, I can't do it. He has the best voice. Amber Nelson was walking alone and hiking the Grand Canyon. She didn't know that there was an unsuspected
Murder on the loose.
Yes, exactly. Like that's just like, I don't know, like hiking alone.
Do you hear those when they're like, she left the bar without telling her friends where she was going. She got into a cab alone. I'm like, why would you do? You're just trying to die? Like, what are you doing?
What are you
Death wish,
doing?
dude.
Yeah.
I'm like so the opposite. I'm so paranoid of being like slain by a serial killer that I'm just like, oh man, I'm like always on the fucking lookout all the time. A little too abundantly aware of
Well,
my.
statistically, it's a partner. You will know your killer. I mean,
true.
yes, a bad person does hide in the bushes and jump out at you.
So rarely.
But it's rare. And I always like, I'm never on my phone. I don't smoke cigarettes out because then people can be like, can I bum one? You know what I mean?
I don't wear headphones and walk around.
No.
I do in the middle of the night with my eyes closed. Let's go, dudes. Let's go.
Dude,
whatever I want, anytime I want.
There was a really sad, like, viral tweet that came out that was like, women, if there was like no sexual assault and you were safe, what would you do? And almost every woman was like, run at night.
Yeah.
Go out by myself at night.
Yeah.
Walk at night. Because we can't do that. Like the idea, I remember like when I used to run a lot, it was like when the sun started going down, it was like a race to how fast. I'm like, I need to get back to my home immediately. And I would be like, and I would carry a taser with me and everything. Like, you're just like, God forbid something happens. But like the luxury of being able to just be like,
walk
you know what?
It's sick.
I can't sleep right now. Like, I'm just going to like go on a walk on the beach. We can't fucking do that.
I
We
do
can't-
that though, but this is bad.
Dude,
This is
we
bad.
can't
Don't
do
follow
that.
my advice. But I'll just go like on a walk at night, and like I've
No,
been followed
dude.
a few times.
Yes, of course.
And I'll turn around and I'll be like, "Get the fuck off!" Like I turn crazy in the eyes, and then they do because you've like disrupted their sneak.
See, that's so terrifying to me.
Yeah, I don't know why I should stop doing that.
No,
But, like,
I
I've gone into places where I'm alone and they were like feeling people up for guns, and I'm like, let's go in there.
I remember a friend of mine was like, "Oh man, I accidentally fell asleep on the subway and I woke up in fucking Astoria." Has that ever happened to you? I'm like, that would never ever happen to me.
Yeah.
You think I can sleep on public transportation? Do you think I can? No, dude. We've never been like, "Oh, oops, I fell asleep on the subway." Like my underwear would be on backwards when I woke up. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
I have a knife slit. over
Yeah,
my
I'd be like,
neck.
"Oh, my neck's falling off." Like I just like, no, dude. Like we're so hyper vigilant all the time. Like I can fall asleep on a plane, but I'm like, yeah, because like everybody's like attached to their seat with their credit card. Like, you know, there's like there's a stewardess coming by, like checking to making sure like the person next to you isn't like fingering your asshole, you know?
Yeah.
They're always on the lookout.
I don't even fall asleep at the airport. And people are like, there's cameras everywhere. I'm like, I don't trust it. I still don't trust it. I'll do it on the actual plane, but if I'm being held in the airport itself and like, I
Really?
have an hour layover, I'm like, even if I'm like, you know, on death's door for sleep, I'm still awake.
Really? I'll fuck with that.
You'll
But
fuck with that?
I'll fuck with that. What do you think is annoying that couples do?
Definitely the fighting, the bickering. When one of the couple leaves and the other one's like, I hate him, don't you?
Yeah, that's
And I'm
so
just
awkward.
kind of like, whoa, like I don't want to talk shit about your partner.
That's,
you know what I mean?
They're gonna, that's canned soon. Like they're
Yeah.
gonna be over soon because they're soft pitching a breakup at that point. They're like, "You hate him, right? Should I?" Right?
should
How would
leave,
you
right?
feel if the social dynamic of this group was he wasn't around, it was just me now? I'm just, I'm just testing that out, see if we'd still hang out as much or.
On the
anything.
obverse of that, the worst is also when they become this like we person where it's like,
Well, when we went to, babe, where was that place? That restaurant when I got the sniffles? Yeah, when we went there,
that was like, and you're like, oh, you guys are just not autonomous people. Like they've just kind of like fused into being this like amoebic form
Yeah.
of human. I am like, because, and also, I'm sorry. And I have a long list of this, I guess. I hate like shorthand, like cute shorthand. I think it's so gross. Like, oh, babe, I'm hungles. I'm like,
Oh, or like
honestly,
veg.
commit suicide in front of me. I
Yup.
want to see you die.
Yup.
Like, I want to see you die right now. Like, I am just like,
oh yeah, when you're like,
but like baby talk, I should not. To me, the PDA, like, if they're hot, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I'll cuck that for sure. But when you guys are like talking like babies to each other and it's supposed to be cute and sexy, I'm like,
I'm for the First Amendment, but when that shit happens, I'm like, let's.
I'm
get
glad
some
the
fucking-
Second Amendment is there.
Yeah.
Do men enjoy baby talk?
I
don't think they do.
personally, I don't, and I don't know anyone that. They wouldn't tell me if they do. Behind closed doors, I bet there's some real sick fucks of friends of mine that are doing it.
Yeah, pretend like you're a child sucking
Yeah.
on my dick.
No, I mean, I think that they do it because it's this reward mechanism. Like, oh, if I like, I'm like, hey, baby, blah, blah, blah. Then like she's gonna be happy, and then she's gonna suck my dick later. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like
Yeah.
I think they like baby talk because then like maybe their girl is happy, and then like. But I'm like, if you were a man, I remember I dated this guy who was like really like cutesy talking, and I was like so. I hated it so much. I was like kind of disgusted. I like my attraction to him like really started to wind down very, very fast because he'd be like, well, you want
Oh, my vagina just closed inside itself.
he would also like say, ugh, I
Emojis, I don't like them. When a man does them, sorry guys.
yeah, when a man does an emoji, I can't. I'm like,
Okay, bud, gotta go. Don't ever talk to me again.
yeah, I just, especially when they talk too much in them. Oh God, what's even worse? When a man sends you a bit emoji of themselves, like they constructed an emoji of
Oh
themselves,
yeah, well, the Bitmojis, yeah.
like a Bitmoji of themselves, and they're like, "Yeah, like here's me concerned."
That's
Anyway, I'll see you
narcissist.
soon. And I'm like, you like sat on your phone and like we're like, oh, is it this hair color? No, I guess I'm more of like an ashy brown.
It's like, dude, you're 36 years old, man. Just fucking stop.
I don't
Making-
like that.
You don't have children. You're making Bitmojis. Get
That's
the fuck out of here.
bad. That's
Go-
really bad.
Go build it. Go Chris McCandless and just head into the Alaskan wilderness and just fucking starve to death. Dude. Like a man, dude.
I know.
Leave society and die cold and alone, like you were in.
But everyone's into everything else. Like that's the thing. It's like there's definitely girls out there that like see their guy in an anime hoodie and they're like,
Oh my god, I love that.
It's pretty sick.
Yeah, there's somebody out there for everybody.
Yeah, I fuck with anime hoodies, dude.
but like I don't
What
want
anime hoodies for? It was random, man.
I don't know. Like I don't want to see a guy like wearing like stuff with Pikachu on it. I just like I'm not into that. I'm sorry. I just like
They're gonna come for you for saying that. By the way.
Oh my
There's a
God.
community of the anime. There's guys in this office that are gonna fucking be mad.
okay, you can be
counting.
into anime, but like there's things that I'm into. Like first of all, I like horror movies, but I think the aesthetic of being like I'm gonna wear an Evil Dead shirt. I'm like, are you that alone that you need someone to talk to you about something? Like I just it's a signaling. I get it. Like I used to wear band shirts a lot when I was a teenager because I wanted people to be like, oh, Black Flag, cool, you know, and then I could be friends with them. But then you get older and you're like, oh, I'm a human being that is defined by my characteristics and my outlook on life, not by the things I consume and like.
Yeah.
You know, like
It's you and your internal happiness.
yes, I'm more than an amalgamation of, you know, the movies I watch and the bands that I like and all this shit, you know? I'm deeper than that.
Yeah.
So I think that whenever you're like, I don't know, it's always like fucking like kind of schlubby dudes that are like wearing like a Dark Side of the Moon shirt that they got at like Walmart. So it's like they make sure like none of this money's going to Pink Floyd. You know, like 100% not. Then I'm just like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna get dragged for this. You're gonna be like, let me have my Pink Floyd.
I want to wear my Pikachu fucking socks. What the fuck? Let me do it.
Yeah, that's fine. You can do it, but I just don't want to fuck you.
That's fair.
You know, like
that's-
guys get really mad if they want to like do their thing, and I'm like, I don't want to fuck you. I get that if I wear like a muumuu, you don't want to fuck me. I'm not appalled. You know, I'm not like, oh, how dare you?
Yeah.
I want to wear this. You don't want to fuck me in this. Like, dude, I get it. It's not sexy. Like, I'm just saying your fucking anime hoodie is not sexy. It's not doing it for me.
But some women might like it. I mean,
That's
I'm
what I mean. Different
also not
strokes.
one of them.
Yeah, different strokes, dude. Because then you're like, the guys that do baby talk, actually, kind of anyone that does baby talk, that's like big red flag. But when men do it, I'm like, I either think like you're up to no good. Like, I'm like, what are you doing? You trying to trick me? Trying to trick me to be like,
I'm sensitive. I'm a little baby.
I fucking hate if I hear you say, hey, babe, I'm like, shut up.
you know what babe sounds like? Babe, to me, I like weirdly, I think when somebody's like, hey, baby, that's sweet because it feels old school. When you're
Yeah.
like, babe, to me, that's like, I'm already over it. Like, babe, can you not do that?
Yeah.
It's nitpicky.
Babe is like, stop. Like, babe is like, that to me is like, I'm pissed. I'm over you.
Yeah.
Like, can you,
babe.
babe, can you hand me the remote? Babe.
Babe.
Yeah, it's never coming from a loving place. It's like you are annoyed with the person when you say babe.
Dude. Heterosexual relationships are gay as hell.
Yeah, they're the most
really are.
cringy.
They're so
No, I
gay.
think the gayest thing in the world is getting married. That's
sure.
why I can't believe that gay people were not allowed to get married for so long. Because I'm like, it's
A pageant.
pageantry.
Yeah.
It's so gay
Yeah.
that I'm like, what are you talking about? I actually think, strong stance. I don't think you should. I think only gay people should be allowed to get married.
Wow.
like it.
I don't
Flip
think.
it.
I don't think straight people should be getting married. I don't want to see you dance with your dad.
Yeah.
I don't want to fucking see no, I don't
It
like
is
that.
weird.
I don't want to see you look each other in the eyes and be like, when we first met. Sorry. You look so beautiful. Like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Shut up.
You
Yeah, just go have kids somewhere.
You're just lame, dude. Like, I don't know. I just don't. I don't like that. I don't want you to be dancing like, do you remember the 21st night of December? Like,
Shout.
yeah, stop, dude. Like,
All right, we've been sipping on Haterade for a while, and we've been going for a while. I think we can do some plugs
Yes.
and wrap it up. Amber,
Amber,
thank you so
please.
much for
Yeah.
coming on.
Thank you for having me. This is a very fun studio you're in. Thanks for inviting me down to Venice. I don't know if it's okay if I can say you're in Venice.
Sure.
Okay.
You can't say that.
Amber, what do you have to plug?
I do 2 podcasts. One's The Brighter Side, and it's about positivity. And one is called Someplace Underneath, and that is about missing women, true crime. They're both on the Last Podcast Network. I'm also on Twitch, and follow me at Amber Smelson.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. You're fantastic.
Thanks for having me.
And what's your Instagram? Is Amber Smelson?
It's all Amber Smelson.
Great. We'll give her a follow. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
Oh.